Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about how we can find the areas of a polygon. So we're going to put our knowledge to use about how we can find the area of rectangles and triangles and put those together to find the area of polygons. So example 1 says, Denise is building a patio in her backyard as shown in this diagram. She needs to know the area before she orders the patio tiles, and we want to figure out what is this area. So to do this, we're going to have to decompose this shape. So what that means is just break it down into shapes that we know how to find the area of. So right off the bat, I see a rectangle, and we know how to find the area of a rectangle. And I see 2 triangles, and we know how to find the area of triangles. So to find the whole area, we would just have to find the area of the 2 triangles and combine that area with the area of the rectangle. So let's start with the triangles. So our base of our triangle is 6, and our height is 2. And remember, to find the area of a triangle, we do 1/2 base times height. So I have 1/2 of my base, which is 6, times my height, which is 2. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can first cut the base into the half and then multiply by 2, or you can multiply first and then cut it in half, either or. So if I do 6 times 2, I know that's 12. So I have 1/2 of 12. Remember, you can put this into your calculator or you can multiply by 1/2, but remember that whenever you multiply by 1/2, you're really just dividing by 2 because you're cutting that thing in half. So if I'm cutting 12 in half, I'm dividing by 2. 1/2 of 12 is 6. So that means that this triangle right here, the area is 6, but we have 2 triangles. So we have to double that or multiply by 2. So my total area of the triangles is going to be 12 meters squared. So that gives us the area of these triangles. And now we want to find the area of the rectangle. So my rectangle, I have my length or my base of 4, and I have my height of 6, or my width of 6, either or. And I know I'm just going to multiply these 2 together to find my area. So the area of my rectangle is going to be 24 meters squared. So now I know I have my 2 triangles and I have my rectangle. So I want to find the total area. I want to put these together, so I'm going to add them together to find my total area, which is going to be 36 meters squared. So my total area of this polygon is 36 meters squared. Now there is one other way that you could look at this. If you don't want to deal with triangles, you could decompose this into 2 rectangles. So what I could do here is I could move these 2 triangles away. Could take them off from this side, and I could just move them over to the right side. Now this is not going to look perfect. So I moved one triangle, and then I moved the other, and now I have a rectangle. So my base is still the same. This entire base here is still going to be 6. And my height, or my width, is still the same. It's going to be 2. So now I just have to deal with 2 rectangles. So this rectangle is still the same. We know that's still 24. But now this rectangle is going to be 6 times 2, which is 12. And again, if I combine these together, it's still the same thing. I'm still going to get 36 meters squared. So that's just a second way you could view this. All right, let's try another one. The Robinsons are planning to resurface the path that surrounds their garden as shown. What is the area of the path? So we want to find just this path area. So just that shaded region. Now to do that, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find the total area of the garden and the path. So find the area of the whole thing. Then we're going to have to find the area of just the garden. And then we're going to subtract the two to get rid of this area of the garden. And that would just leave us with the path. So let's start. So first we want to find the total area of the garden and the path. So the total area of this whole entire garden and path, we know we have 8 and 7. And since this is a rectangle, we're just going to multiply those two together. So we have 8 meters times 7 meters. So think about what would this area be here? So it would be 56 meters squared. So this gives us this entire area right here. That entire area. So that gives us the path and the garden. So now we want to find the area of just this garden right here so that we can end up subtracting it, getting rid of it just to find the path. So now we have 4 and 3. So we have 4 meters times 3 meters, which we know is going to be 12 meters squared. So now this garden is 12 meters squared. And we want to subtract that from the original because that will leave us just with that garden path. So we're going to do 56 meters squared minus 12 meters squared to get the area of just our path, which is going to be 44 meters squared. So this path right here, just the path by itself, is 44 meters squared. All right, let's do one more. So it wants us to find the area of a polygon on this coordinate plane. So the first thing that we want to do is, again, we want to decompose our shape here. So what I see is I see a right triangle and I see a rectangle and a smaller rectangle. So I have 3 shapes here. So let's start with our right triangle. We have a base of 5. And we have a height of 4. So we have 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 of 5 times 4. So 5 times 4 we know is 20, and 1/2 of 20 is 10. So my right triangle is 10 meters squared. That's my area of my triangle. And now we just have our rectangles left. So we found the area of the triangle. Let's start with the smaller rectangle. So we have 6 on the bottom and 4 on the side. So we have 6 times 4, which we know is 24 meters squared. And now our larger rectangle, we have 11 and 5. So we have 11 meters times 5 meters, which is going to be 55 meters squared. So now that I have all of those isolated, now to find the area of the entire polygon, I just want to combine them. I want to add them all up. And sorry, I put 2 up here. I should have put 24. My bad. So I'm going to do 10 meters squared plus 24 meters squared plus 55 meters squared. So go ahead and calculate this out on your by yourself. What is my total area of that entire polygon now? If I have 10, 24, and 55, my entire area of this entire polygon is going to be 89 meters squared. So that is it for today's lesson. So just remember, when you guys are trying to find, when you guys are given a polygon, make sure that you're decomposing it or breaking it down into different shapes that you know how to calculate the area of, like triangles or rectangles or squares, and then combine them all together to find the total area. And remember, if you guys need help, you know how to find us. Just send us an email or join one of our Google Meets if your teacher's having a Google Meet this week. Hope you guys are all doing